Hey guys, welcome back to the Crazy Cozy Corner. I'm Brianna, and this, like I said, is a Crazy Cozy Corner. It's the Crazy Cozy Corner because we're in a corner, and there's books, and there's me, and there's a comfy chair. It's always a toss-up between the books or me to make it crazy, so we'll see. So this video, we are rereading the Twilight series. Now, it's just the main canon books because I didn't really feel like reading The Short Life of Bree Tanner or The Short Second Life or whatever, and Life and Death. I've already had enough Twilight, like the first book, to last me a while. So in this video I read Midnight Sun rather than Twilight because I'd actually never read Midnight Sun, and it's kind of repetitive to go and read Twilight right after Midnight Sun because basically the same things happen, and even though I can read them, like reread them every year, there's a year between them, so there's time to forget small details that'll pop back up. But yeah, so let's get into it. So I finished Midnight Sun, and I'm going to read that in place of Twilight for this video because they're basically the same thing, just with a little bit more of the Cullen family sprinkled in, which I liked and hated this book because I do not enjoy Edward as I did when I was younger. Actually, I started this book once and got about 160 pages in, and I couldn't do it. Now this time, it wasn't as bad. Oh, I enjoyed the book more than I did last time. There's still all the same issues with it, with him being so much older than her, being attracted to her. Like, immortality is weird, but I feel like there should still be some rules. But I mean, you would never meet a human that is as old as you eventually. So like, but I'm also like, with the Fae and stuff, in different, like a different fantasy genre, I'm like 600 years older than her, it's fine. But then so I don't think I can really judge too much because honestly this would never ever happen. So yes, it could be, it is problematic, but it's also like there's really like no such thing as vampires. Maybe that ruins the, sorry if I upset you with that. But going back to it, him being even more creepy, like it was creepy that he was watching her and and she knew about it and she was fine with it, but the extent that he was watching her was, at least he didn't watch her get naked. His reasoning, while like valid for him, like wasn't, no. But like, I'm trying to, I guess, make excuses. I never thought, I was reading reviews of the book just prior to this, and I never thought that Bella didn't have a personality. I think that is from the movie where they made her, let me see if I can set this down so I'm not shaking as much. So they made, okay, there we go, it's just gonna be a little crooked. They made her very Mary Jane. I think that's the term. But or Mary Sue, one of those where it's like anyone can insert themselves into the character, really. They're not anything special, or yeah, something like that. I think that's what they're called. Basically, you can insert yourself. So I think it was actually kind of smart the way they did it for the movie, because then any girl could jump into that role of Bella because she didn't have a personality in the movie. But in the books, she had more personality. So I didn't really understand that criticism of Midnight Sun, but I thought it was nice to see a little bit more of the Cullen family. Like Rosalie, like getting to understand her hatred a lot earlier. And it's not necessarily hatred for Bella, but like the reckless choices she's gonna be, or like she wants. Like Rosalie didn't have a choice. Sorry, I thought I heard someone talking, and I'm home alone, so that shouldn't be happening. Rosalie didn't have a choice to become a vampire, but Bella would. And so I think it was good for what it is. Like, I don't like to go too deep, and like sometimes there's writing styles that I don't enjoy, but it's very rare that there's a book that I'm like, oh, this is horrible. I did read a lot of Wattpad growing up, so I think that influences my tolerance for writing styles. But Midnight Sun, like, I haven't read it before, so I can't say like how it compares, but I do also reread the series every year pretty much, so I'll be able to kind of compare it to my last time of reading from here on out, because I'm going to do Midnight Sun, then New Moon. I'm going to skip Twilight, like I said, because it's basically redundant to Midnight Sun in this read through, so maybe next one I'll switch it up. But I wanted to try something new, and I owned the book because I got it when it first came out because I was so excited, and only read 160 pages, and I was like, well, maybe not. Let's see, is there anything else super exciting? I liked getting to know, I stopped at Rosalie, but I liked getting to know the rest of the Cullens a little bit more, because you don't get to see a lot of Emmett and Jasper and even Esme. You get a little bit more of her because she likes Bella, but Bella spends more time with the female vampires rather than like Emmett, Rosalie, and Jasper. But I guess Rosalie, like, you know what I mean, right? Yeah. And even Carlisle, he doesn't spend too much time with her, or on page, you don't see that in Twilight. So it was cool to get to know them more. I'm curious, and I know it'll never happen because I don't really want to ask that of Stephanie. Like, I don't know if I want to read it, but I would be curious to, why did they agree to leave Bella after Jasper's thing in New Moon, which we'll get there. But I'm curious as to, because they seem to love her, and like, why didn't they fight for her if Edward wasn't going to? Like, I guess because they've been together for so long, but like, I don't understand a lot of things, and I don't think I'll ever understand, but it was just something I was thinking about. But I'm going to start the next book, and I'll give you some actual updates, because I didn't decide to do this video until after I finished Midnight Sun. I was like, I want to read the entire series. Okay, I'm aware that it's bad lighting, and also I gotta apologize, I have my retainer in, so hopefully I'm clear. But something that I've just been thinking about is that Edward, at least on page, never seems to care about Bella's opinion or what she wants. Like, forcing her to go to prom, not considering that she wants to be a vampire legitimately. Like, there's just a lot that he's like forcing on her. Made me angry. Okay, yes, he's animalistic or whatever, but she's trying to give a good idea in Twilight and Midnight Sun at the end, where she's trying to get away from James, and he's like, no, I'm not listening to you. Blah, blah, blah. Like, listen, obviously he doesn't see her as an equal, and that's not a good relationship. And then I get even, I hope I don't look charged, but I feel charged, okay? So I don't like when someone says they're gonna do something and then doesn't follow through with it immediately or soon. So Edward had made up his mind. He was gonna leave Bella. I'm shaking with it. He was gonna leave Bella, but he stayed with her for months while he decided this. Like, what good did it do? And so, like, obviously his follow through is not great, and that really bothers me in people. Is like, don't tell me you're gonna do something and then not do it, or don't have that thought and like communicate that to me as a reader and don't do it, like, and not do it. Because if you're not doing it, like, it just makes me upset for Bella. Like, she was having a good time thinking she was gonna spend forever with you, and you're over here like, ugh, I'm a monster. Like, okay, if you're a monster and you don't deserve love, then leave Bella alone. Like, and then we won't even get started on Jacob. Like, I like him first and half of the second book, and then after that, there's no one that I really like in the series that has like a main plot. You know, I can like some of the Cullens or whatever, or like Seth or Leah, but like, anyways, that was what was bothering me right now. Reading New Moon, and like as I marinated in Midnight Sun and having Edward's point of view, I was like, I'm gonna punch you in the face, dude. Really? Like, as a reader, I'm angry with him because I'm like, just do it then. Like, that's an eclipse, though, right? Yeah, in eclipse, there's something that happens with Jacob. I'm like, do it. Like, don't threaten someone to manipulate them. But anyways, we'll get there, and that angry reaction when we get there. But yeah, right now, we've finally broken out of our kind of depression, and we're hanging out with Jacob. That's what's happening right now. Also, I was thinking about, for my like girls that or guys, anybody who read Wattpad werewolf stories, I imagine like when you get fate involved, like I imagine that Edward leaving Bella was like what rejection, like when you rejected the mate bond in a werewolf story would feel like. I know it talks about physical pain, but I think the pain of like emotional, like I think that would also be something. It was just a weird thought I had. It's like you reject the mate bond, and so you're both in pain and all of that. So I mean, I don't think it's that far off, but just a random thought. I picked up Eclipse last night, and there's always a part of me that wishes I hadn't. I forgot how mad this one makes me due to the controlling nature of Edward and not letting her see Jacob, like physically making sure she doesn't go see him. And it's like, I understand that they're overprotective, but she literally spent an entire summer or whatever, not even summer, like whatever, several months with them, and nothing like happened to her. Yeah, she got uncomfortable because Paul and Jacob fought one time in front of her, but like, I would be all up in his face and be like, so you're making me do what you did to me to my best friend. No, I'm better than that. I'm not gonna leave without talking to him. Just, I don't know. It really, like, it's, first it's, you know, telling you can't be friends with other supernatural creatures. Then it's like taking you away from your entire family and friends. Like, even if she's agreeing to it, like, this is not healthy. Anyways, am I gonna read the book? Yes, always, because I get new commentary each time from my brain, but it makes me so mad that Edward, like I said earlier, like, he doesn't ask what she wants. He just does what he thinks like is best, and she's usually fine with that. But that's not okay. He needs to find out what she wants, not assume just because his sister has power to see the future. Like, I guess because I'm not so like in love with Edward, like I'd be like, dude, you're not gonna tell me I'm not gonna be seeing my friends. Like, but I'm only one chapter in. And it gets worse after this, I know. Okay, see you in the next. This series makes me even angrier each time I read it. But I wish Edward was as reasonable as he was when he finally allows Bella to do what she wants and trust her, like a normal person should do. I mean, I can defend his behavior if I'm playing devil's advocate, but I don't want to, so I'm not going to. But I'm about 200 plus pages in. We just heard about the third wife and everything, and we're not even at the part that really bothers me yet. And there's lots of parts that bother me, obviously. But yeah, on to the next. So, I just read another page, and I forgot about Charlie getting onto Edward for trying to start a fight. He's mad that someone's going to stand up for his daughter that just got assaulted. Alright, that's it. They're all rotten. So, we've gotten to my least favorite part of the book, okay? It's when Edward talks about them getting married and Jacob overhears and he runs off, and then they come back and she's like, Jacob, kiss me, so that he would actually believe her that she didn't want him to die. But so many issues. Edward, if he had kept his mouth shut or made sure Jacob wasn't listening, you know what would have happened? She would have never asked Jacob to kiss her, and like they would have been able to get over this little fight thing. I know it's the book that needs to like have plot points and stuff, but I'm like, excuse you, no. And then Jacob annoys me because he's like, I'm just gonna go leave it up to fate to whether I'll live or die. Obviously, like, while he may have like been grown up in his physical form, his mental form has not grown up with him, and so it's ridiculous. And then Bella is just selfish, and we all know it's because of like fate and imprinting and stuff like that, because of the baby. Weird, but it's just like, you are aware that you're hurting people and you can't practice self-control. So Edward cannot kill you and practice self-control, but you can't practice self-control in your relationships? Yes, I'm judging hard, but yeah, 100 pages left. Woo. I just need to take a moment and process the fact that Bella is kissing her future son-in-law. Okay, I'm about 60 to 70% of the way through Breaking Dawn, and it has to be one of my least favorite, at least the first half. At least in this reread, I have not really enjoyed it as much. I don't enjoy the dynamic of Bella, Edward, and Jacob, and then adding Renesmee into the mix. I really don't enjoy it. I don't like how she, when she's still human Bella, like, basically is like forcing herself on her husband. Yes, he's willing, whatever, but he's set a boundary and she keeps trying to push past it for her own personal pleasure and gain, instead of thinking about how hard it is for him to not kill her. It's, yes, she doesn't have self-preservation, but and then like Jacob, we can appreciate him for like saving her and keeping her safe, and like protecting her while she was pregnant, and then I guess imprinting on her daughter. But I think it's always been icky. Anyways, I don't enjoy it. I think maybe once I reread the fight and getting ready for the Volturi and everything, maybe I'll enjoy it a little bit more, but definitely one of my least favorites. Like, I'm glad that Bella and Edward are equals now, and Jacob isn't obsessed with her, and she's not like hurting him, and it's rough. It's like I've been listening to the audiobook to help me get through it quicker, because I kind of want to be done. So yeah, I'll have to stand by my last remark. Breaking Dawn is my least favorite book in the series, and that's comparing it to New Moon. Like, that's its competition. Like, it just, sentiments from my last clip are the same. I think the movie, like if you watch the movie and how they dealt with the ending scene, like, that was much more entertaining than what really happens, because obviously Alice can't show Arrow that he's gonna be losing, or Arrow, because of the wolves. So like, it doesn't make sense how they did it in the movie, but it's a lot more entertaining than the, like, because most of the things that are going on are within, like, Bella's head, and it just, I don't know. I read somewhere that Edward's a terrible dad. I'm like, yeah, he is. He might love the child, but I don't think he ever wanted to be a father, or he was resigned to the fact that he'd never be a father. But even in his human life, he didn't have a desire to get married and have children. He wanted to be a soldier, so it's never been a desire for him. And he's also stuck at 17, so for him to, like, for people to expect him to be a good dad makes me laugh, because dude's stuck at 17 for the rest of his life, like, or existence. But yeah, that, I'll need another year before I can reread these books again, but we'll see. Let's see. Each time I reread them, it just gets worse for me. Like, I still enjoy, like, the concepts and stuff like that, but I guess it's harder to immerse myself in that reality because I've read it so many times that I'm, like, breaking it out of the immersion, and it's like, well, they're really not great for each other. They don't really listen to each other. They don't communicate and stuff like that. Whereas newer books that I read, like, I'll still fall into the, oh, you know, I can fix him type thing. But since I'm a little bit more far removed from my initial read of the series and loving it, I don't even know if I'm making any sense. But yeah, that was rereading the entire Twilight series. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I hated and enjoyed this video, but I enjoyed being with you and talking about the weird things that just pop up from this series. It's a little weird. Come on. Like, but do I still love the series? Obviously, it's like, there's so many things wrong with books that, like, as we evolve and grow and see things differently, like, older books always kind of make you like, ooh, but I mean, it's not super old either, but you know, yeah, it's Twilight. It's always gonna have its cult following, hopefully, because it's fun. It's fun to love and also hate, in my opinion. But happy Hoa Hoa season. Hopefully it actually cools down where I'm at, so that I can enjoy it, and, you know, the cold, wet things. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell, and comment, and tell me how you feel about the Twilight series, whether you love it or hate it, you know. See you next time. Bye!